Hi, and welcome to Flourish and Flow. I'm your host, Amy Rohrer from the Yoga Hut in Tillsonburg, here to help you connect and integrate the dots to true wellness on your healthy living journey. If my own healing journey has taught me anything, is that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to flourishing, which we will be discussing throughout this season. We all have our own unique path. We're here today at Hometown Styles in Ingersoll, so I'd like to thank Jen, the owner, for welcoming us here to film our show today, a beautiful studio space, and also a thank you to our additional show sponsors, Bree and Kyle from Bree's Fresh Market in Ostrander, and Laura from Escape Salon and Spa in Tillsonburg. Today we are joined by yoga teacher and co-owner of Kure Yoga Studio in Ingersoll, Mel Ublansky. Mel has been living in the town of Ingersoll for 20 years. She's married to her husband Jordan, has two teenage kids and 4 fur babies. When she isn't busy with all of her kids, she is teaching yoga and co-running Kure. She loves to DIY, be outside, collaborate on other projects with others. A bit of an amateur content creator. I wouldn't say amateur, you're great, but loves to document and share things also through social media. So a big thank you for joining us here today.
Thank
you. You didn't have to travel very far.
No, I didn't. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
right
you.
across the street. So yeah, you've definitely been immersed in health and wellness for years now, but can you take us back to how your journey with yoga first began?
Yeah. So I feel like there's kind of that pivotal moment. Again, not to date myself, but I started, I think with many of us back then, with a videotape, and it was a crunch video yoga tape, and that's kind of how I got into it. I was living in Vancouver at the time. I was like 21, 22, and I started going to a studio down the road, and that's kind of when I was really first introduced. It was Ashtanga yoga. So instantly addicted. And I think for me, what kind of did it for me was how I started to view my body differently. So when you're young, you're kind of like, it's about maybe being thin or things like that. But I never really saw my body as like something to really take care of the same way. So yoga all of a sudden kind of put it all together for me. So
I love that.
Yeah.
And so that was in Vancouver.
Yep.
So you started to have a deeper connection to
Loved
yoga.
it,
What
addicted.
eventually led you to take the teacher training? And
So I was doing yoga there, and then Bikram's yoga became like a big thing there too. So I was doing that, and then when we moved back to Ontario, to Ingersoll is where we ended up, there wasn't, say, a studio right around here. I kind of tried some different things that I could fit in, but having little kids, it was hard. So I always had my YTT on the back of my head. But again, when you're young, you don't always have the time or maybe the money.
Yeah.
So as I got older, it was something I kind of always was journaling about. I always kind of kept it in my back pocket, and one day I had the time, I had the money, and I was able to do it. And I did like a month immersive. So I went every day and
The stars aligned.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, now you're the co-owner of a beautiful studio space in Ingersoll, Kure.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
So how we kind of got together. Yeah. So again, I'm a big believer in manifesting and stuff like that. So once I did my yoga teacher training, which was just for me, of course, like that we always say, right? But I knew I kind of wanted to, but you're kind of afraid to put it out there. And so I started teaching at a church. I kind of rented space at a church just down the road with I had run 10-week sessions. And then I got introduced to booty yoga online, which I will kind of talk about after. But that is when I just knew I had this feeling like this is like a studio vibe. Like we could really build something with this. And then it's funny how people just come into your life. Jolene and I have known each other, like we lived on the same street actually, but
like growing up or when you moved
she's from here.
Okay.
When I moved here, we lived on the same street.
Okay.
Our kids are kind of all kind of sandwiched together. And so, she approached me about like looking at some different things, like a space. There was one in Chelmsford actually that we kind of thought about, but because I was already kind of growing stuff here in my classes. So then we found our space.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when was that? How long?
So actually August or July was 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we started
congratulations.
renovating right now. We are renovating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're adding more or
No, so like
changing it?
7 years ago, we were renovating. We opened December 1st. So that will be kind of 7 years of running
Oh,
Kure.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, there is some exciting things coming for Kure down the
Oh.
road. Yeah.
Can you give us any sneak peeks or anything you want to share as far as your vision?
We have a third floor. And
I didn't know that.
there has been no way to get to that third floor. So we are just working on that right now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
expanding,
Yep.
possibly some more
Yeah.
studio space.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
exciting.
I know. We're very pumped about it.
Yeah, so I love that you shared, your yoga journey kind of started in Vancouver. You moved back, you had kids.
Yep.
Like yoga's kind of gone with you through these different life seasons.
Yeah.
So maybe just tell me a little bit about how your relationship with yoga has evolved.
Yeah.
Through young adulthood, mother, business owner.
Yeah. Definitely has changed. I've, from my YTT, like my 200, I've gained different types of movement, done a lot of different courses and trainings. And I love all styles of yoga because, again, when I found Booty, it was kind of, it's a little bit more of a vibe. Like, we're kind of like a little bit more workout, a little bit more energy, and which is what I was looking for kind of when my kids were a little bit younger. I didn't have a lot of time, so I needed all of the things in one class, and that's kind of it. But now I'm loving taking it down a notch and like taking a little bit more time to do more restorative meditation. I'm doing meditation in the mornings. So
Nice.
yeah, it's always evolving, I feel like.
Yeah, I love that. So, in the second segment, after the commercial, we are going to go into some actual demos, but maybe you can talk a little bit about some of the classes you do offer at Kure and how it's not a one size fits all. There's, different flavors for different people or what you're feeling.
So right from opening the studio, we didn't want to just call it a yoga studio because of Booty and other things that we kind of had planned to. So we have, our restorative, our hatha, our vinyasas, like we have all of those, and those are all very popular classes. We run 23 classes a week. Okay. So we have all of those, but then we have our specialty kind of Kure ones that I think, at least when we opened, were very different. So Booty Yoga, again, it's kind of more, think energy. We sweat. It's high vibe. So we're really connecting with ourselves. It's kind of like shutting egos at the door, just really connecting with ourselves. So we have that kind of, I'd say, really put Kure where it has continued to grow from. And then we have our sculpts, which are kind of, think about a blend of bar, Pilates, all these mobility movements kind of in one class. And then we offer one called Burn, again with weights, props, think more HIIT, like timed interval type things. And they're very, very popular classes.
Wonderful.
So,
yeah, so we're going to get a little experience.
We'll do a little taste of some of those.
Yeah, great. So stay tuned. We're going to go to a short commercial. We'll be back with Mel after this break. Welcome back to Flourish and Flow. I'm your host, Amy Rohrer, here today with Mel from Kure Yoga and Fit and Flow Studio. Like you said, it's not, your focus isn't just yoga, it's creating movement, different opportunities for people to connect to themselves. So a little bit more about, you guys are big on community. I see that a lot through what you share.
Yeah.
So how has building this community, impacted your own sense of purpose? How does that community impact you?
Honestly, we're like a family. It's amazing to see. Actually, just in my lunch class, I heard somebody telling a brand new person who'd just come to class, and you could tell it was just so welcoming in the space, but she was just like, one of the best things about Ingersoll is Kure, and just like fostering kind of like, that's just what we welcome everybody, and like we take time to get to know each other. Like my favorite thing is seeing little pockets of like people starting to grow into friendships. Like,
Yeah.
because Ingersoll is very much a growing town, and we have so many new people and younger moms and people that don't maybe know people when they move here. So when they find us, they're like, wow, this is a really great space. And also, just like myself, I see people that are just starting with yoga or this kind of movement journey, and just seeing how they grow and change. And then I love to kind of almost see, I can almost pinpoint when somebody's going to be like, how do I start teaching? Because, and that's an amazing feeling that you've kind of brought this into somebody's life, right?
I love that. And it kind of takes me back to when, like you said, like I started thinking about doing my yoga teacher training, but I was living out east, and that space, that yoga community that I connected with did become like my family. Like I didn't have family and friends. So, I mean, yoga is obviously an incredible practice for our well-being. But I think it's important to mention, like, it is meant to be practiced with others. And it is that community, what you gain from being a part of that community around like-minded people, who are on a journey of growth and bettering themselves is very impactful on our own well-being too.
And kind of cheering for each other. Like, even though we always kind of say, like, we are on our mats, like, you know, having our own little moment on our space, kind of whatever we're dealing with that day, but we're doing it together. And it's just like this whole, you can feel the vibes in class. It's like my favorite thing. And I know a lot of our teachers were once students and over the years have grown into their own little, creating their own little inspiration for others. So that's amazing.
So, like you just were talking a little bit about your students, the journey of becoming a yoga teacher, but we're constantly learning, and I've found, you know, I learn so much from, it's not like I'm really the teacher students, like we're always learning from each other. So what's something that your students have taught you?
To keep showing up, because sometimes it's funny, you as a teacher, it's one of the most amazing things, but it can be very humbling and sometimes hard to, like, you can have hard days too, right? Like you really can. And so you got to show up and you kind of got to tuck everything away, but sometimes it's okay not to. Like, not that you're full out, you know, maybe having a breakdown, but like something where you feel like to show people that you're normal, like you're a real human being too. You're not just like, I know sometimes we put these people up, like, you know, that they do all these things, but we're still just regular people with like lots of feelings. So that I find I just keep kind of showing up. That way they've really taught me that it is a safe space for teachers too, like to really grow and not to be the same as every other teacher. Do you know what I mean? To like really become yourself. And that's what they show up for, is they want to see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, every teacher is going to be different.
Totally. And we like, we push that. Yeah.
So as a business owner and, you know, mom, how do you reconnect with yourself when you're feeling disconnected or depleted?
So it's funny, people think that I move a lot. I do, like, so I move at the studio, but I also love to do movement at home, just kind of on my own. So that's one of the things I do. I love to, I know it sounds silly, but like I love this time of year because I love to be outside. I love to cut grass. We have a riding lawnmower. I love to do stuff like that. I like to walk with the dogs. Just kind of unplug from things, try to get off my phone as much as possible.
It makes me think of that reel of like, oh no, my wife found out what it feels like to cut the grass, and like then she is out there doing it all the time.
It is me. My husband's like, I'm like, what are you doing? No, I'll cut the grass.
Like paper, scissors, rock.
Totally. I love it. You just put on your music and you just like do your thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
So something we do on the show is called a lightning round, just some fun pop questions for people to get to know you and your personality better. So just first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Morning ritual that you can't live without.
Working out.
Yeah? Every morning?
Every morning. Yep.
One thing that you always keep in your bag or the car.
Gloss, like a lips, like always some kind of lip product. Yeah.
Gloss?
Yeah.
What was your first job?
Serving coffee. My family had a coffee business.
Okay.
At Trails End Market. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Your go-to comfort food.
Oh my gosh. Cheese. Cheese. All cheese.
Cheese?
I love cheese. Yeah.
Yes. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I have a lot of energy. Like I kind of push through a lot of things. My friends call it go-go juice, Mel's go-go juice. So I think that would kind of be my power. I do, if I sit, that's when I slow down. So I'm kind of a mover always.
All right. Your favorite way to move your body?
Anything with music. So a good playlist, and I just really let my body intuitively do whatever it's gonna do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, music
Yep.
can be a great tool.
Yeah.
One thing you're currently learning or curious about?
I'm actually doing my Pilates certification.
Oh, I saw that. Okay,
Yeah. So I just got to do find some time every week. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my test. You know what I mean? Do it. I just have to do it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And last question.
Yes.
What's lighting you up right now in your practice, your teaching, or your personal life?
Honestly, people. I love people. Like I really do. I'm a people person. I like to be around people. So definitely the Kure family lights me up. My family at home, friends. Like, yeah, I'm a social person. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing more about you. And stay tuned. We are going to do some movement and a fun demo after the short break. Welcome back to Flourish and Flow. I'm your host, Amy Rohrer, here today with Mel from Kure Yoga. And we get to actually do some fun demo. Mel is going to lead us through a couple different yoga styles.
Yeah.
Because as we mentioned, yoga can be slow and grounding. It could be more energizing. And you've got a little bit for everyone, a lot of those different styles. So
we do.
You take it from here, what you want to lead us through.
So I'm going to start with just kind of introducing Booty Yoga. That's kind of, again, what we've always taught, one of our most popular classes. So think about it as lots of energy. There's kind of cardio bursts, HIIT style movement, yoga, of course, all of it in one thing. It's ups and downs, it's a whole journey. It's intuitively led, but there's a couple quick things that we do in class.
I've never done booty yoga.
Okay, so this is what we do at the beginning of class. We give a little demo because booty is really good because we really connect inside, and because of the kind of somatic kind of movement that we do with music, and that is we release a lot of tension, trauma, and even some of the movement that we do during class in our hips. Okay. So we are going to take our legs a little bit wider.
My hips don't lie.
That's
so
okay.
We'll see what shows up.
No,
today.
this is what we always say. Don't anybody pay attention to anybody. Nobody. We are right on our mat. We're gonna kind of hinge forward, so not quite dumping in our back. We're kind of pushing into the edges of our foot. And this is our static shake, one of the things that we kind of do to release. So it seems funny when we're doing it, but we're kind of, this is what we call 2 mozzarella balls and a little bit of a cheese grater behind us. So we're just coming side to side. So everyone has a different shake. This is what we say. And when you're moving and in the moment, it's not going to look as maybe awkward as we're kind of acting right now, but we're shaking, releasing, like I'm shaking kind of everywhere. Like I can feel jiggles everywhere. So we're letting that go. That's one of the ways that we do it. Another thing about booty is we are connecting inside kind of to ourselves. So we do a lot of deep core work. So picture that we have basically a metal post down the center of our body. And what we always say is we're not dancing like we're around a pole, but think about it more as a tight little spiral that we're coming. So we're coming around that pole, just tight little spirals.
Okay.
So we'll do this kind of movement. So let's just come into maybe a low lunge.
Okay.
Okay. So again, there's loud music, there's things going on. So you could be here, say we were here, and somebody might call out, okay, we're gonna spiral through heart space or through hips. Okay, so that could be one way that you're doing. We might do something like this, where we're releasing through the hips that way.
Okay.
Okay, and then we might be coming up, tapping. There's a whole bunch of things when the music's actually going, okay?
Cool.
Then one of the other things I wanted to kind of show, this kind of comes into when we kind of have almost like more grounding moments. I'm already out of breath. Is we kind of call them like heel drops.
Okay.
So we start to kind of feel like now kind of bring in the other side, and we might just kind of start to release, and you can kind of still feel that almost shake out, right? But picture with loud, fun music and nobody's caring, right? And then we can sometimes be moving, we're kind of coming around. Yep. And then we might switch it to the other side. We might be doing this in a down dog bounce. There's so many different ways. So that is just booty in like a tiny little snippet. That's kind of what we give at the beginning of class, but everything comes with it after. And I'm always out of breath after doing that. Okay.
I have a quick question. Does booty stand for anything? Or
so I know it's not
your booty.
No, it's not your booty. Basically, it's basically finding, and it has nothing to do with cure either, but it is finding like the cure inside of you. So we all have it in us, and it's kind of like connecting into that. So we do it in front of a mirror because we're looking at ourselves. Like really, you don't almost even notice other people because you're just like into that vibe where you're doing
empowering practice.
It's very, it's a life-changing one if you haven't done it yet.
Cool.
So yeah.
Okay, what else?
Okay, so I just was teaching sculpt today. So this was a move that we were doing at lunch today.
Okay, you're all warmed up.
I know, totally. Okay, so let's come into that lunge again. Okay. So this is one of the kind of movements. We're up and down. We do a lot of mobility. We use light weights in sculpt, so 2-3 pounds. But we're gonna use our Pilates ball, and we're gonna tuck it in kind of to the rib cage.
Okay.
Now, instead of like rounding over, we have a nice long spine. So we're kind of coming from tailbone all the way up. And then we're going to kind of keep squeezing the so core is everything in. And we're just gonna start to bend through that back knee.
Okay.
Yep. And then we're gonna press back up. And bend, I'm already sweating.
It was like
forward.
Heat
Yeah, totally. It doesn't take a lot. And we are hot too. Not hot for this class, but one more. And then we're just gonna hold it here in this little pulse.
Okay, yeah.
So we like to build on sequences. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to. We're coming forward and we're coming back. And we're coming forward, and we're coming back. And then we ended with a pulse like this, and we couldn't even move today. So that was a leg one.
Okay.
That's some of our sculpt type movements. Again, there's so many things that we can do, but we also do offer movements, say, on the mat.
Oh, with the sculpt?
Yep. Okay. So we'll do one more sculpt move. So let's bring ourselves all the way down. Whoops, I forgot I have this thing on.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we won't do that one.
Okay.
We're gonna come a little bit wider.
Okay.
Holding the ball. So up nice and tall, so not rounded. We're gonna open up. So kind of looking over that shoulder, coming back to center, nice and tall, and then opening up. Breathing. Inhale, exhale. And then we might add here, where we might reach just a little bit, coming up tall, opening up. Good. So that kind of thing. We do lots of things like that.
Yeah.
So it's not all hard, but we work a lot of core. And then I was thinking maybe just to show you something that we could finish with more yoga, yin type.
Like a slower
Yes,
style.
exactly. So let's just quickly bring our hips back, kind of reset with a little windshield wiper. And then we're gonna sit up nice and tall, taking our left foot forward. So parallel with the short end of our mat. And then, so either 90-90 or deer legs. Sitting up nice and tall. So often we'll come, if we're just doing this in a regular, say, yin class that we're gonna be holding it longer, you could have maybe a block or something here if you need it as well, or props. But I want us just to kind of pull that right hip forward a little bit. Try to soften through the shoulders, finding that breath. So you could stay right here. Often people like to come down a little bit deeper. So you're releasing really into the glutes here, letting go, breathing. And then if we want to, this is how we usually will kind of transition through this, is we will keep it low, but we'll walk across. And again, you don't have to be right down on your elbows, but we're getting a nice stretch. And you can kind of slide that right hand forward a little bit and just kind of pause here, breathing. So it doesn't always have to be, shouldn't feel painful, right? We want to feel good. So just breathing here. And then I even like to, after a little bit more time, maybe come across where we're getting a little bit more stretch through the left side. Always taking a few breaths, letting everything kind of open up, connecting with our breath.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. And obviously, for sake of time, we have to wrap up, but making sure you do the other side.
Yes, exactly, always.
I think this is great because, you know, what could energize you one day could be too much the next day. So it's really tuning into your body. Like sometimes I need yin. Some days you have the energy to do that more invigorating.
And I'm learning that even myself, teaching myself that it doesn't always have to be
the same thing every day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how can people get in touch before we end today?
Yeah. So we have our website, kuresoul.com. And then on Instagram, we're at kuresoul, which is, I find, the best place to reach us.
You guys share lots there.
We do. We do share a lot there. And the quickest way, I feel like that. Yeah.
Wonderful. So give them a follow, stay in touch with some of their fun things they have going on. Thank you for coming on the show. Mel. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you to our additional show sponsors, Jen from Hometown Styles, Bree and Kyle from Breeze Fresh Market, and Laura from Escape Salon and Spa. May you continue to flourish and find your flow. We'll see you next time.